Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So I wanted to seek the blessings of the Lordships, Shri Radha Madhava, Radha Shyamsundar Krishna Balaram, Bal Gopal, Gonita, Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, and the assembled devotees. Today I wanted to talk about Shukratal, a unique place. This is Shukratal. This is the entrance to the temple with huge tree here. So it's a tiny holy town, 2-3 hours from Haridwar, on the banks of the Ganga in Uttar Pradesh. Srila Sukadeva Goswami spoke sacred Srimad Bhagavad Puran to Maharaj Parikshit here under a banyan tree 5,000 years ago. So this is where the Maharaj Parikshit was instructed on the Bhagavatam. Here at a place called Sri Shukradev Temple, there is a gigantic 5,100-year-old banyan tree, also known as Akshayavat Vriksha, underneath which Sukadeva Goswami, Parikshit Maharaj, and 80,000 sages sat for 7 days, continuously hearing Bhagavatam narration. I'm not sure if there was 80,000 at this place, but anyway, the branches of this Akshayavat tree spread wide, far and wide, sprouting through the nearby surroundings. Sukadeva Ashram is built around the tree. So this is the tree. There's branches coming every which way. 150 feet towering Aksha tree. Does not shed its leaves. Okay. This is a sacred dust. We pay our obeisances here to Shukratal. Under the Akshaya tree is a small temple which has deities of Shukadeva Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj sitting alongside and their footprints. In the courtyard, there's a temple with the exquisitely beautiful deity of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna giving darshan to everyone assembled there under the conclusion of the Bhagavad Katha. This is a quick look at that. This is the entrance to the temple, since we've seen that picture. So Sukadeva Goswami and Maharaj were sitting alongside in a small temple under the Akshayavat tree. And this is in the temple itself, where Lord Krishna is giving darshan to Sukadeva Goswami, Maharaj Parikshit, and the assembled sages as they're talking after the conclusion of the Bhagavatam narration. So uniqueness of this 150 feet towering Akshayavat is that it does not shed any of its leaves. Sukadeva Ashram has a number of small shrines and deities. Yagyashala, Sanskrit Vidyayala, and a reading room. Ashram also has lecture halls called Sri Bhagavat Bhavan for holding continuous discourses in the Bhagavad Puran. Many pilgrims come from across Bharat to attend Bhagavad Katha. There are overnight facilities available to stay at the ashram that have to be pre-booked. At 12 noon, prasad with locally prepared delicacies is served in a hall on the ground floor of the ashram near the Akshaya tree. Across from the tree, in another building, there is Samadhi tomb of Swami Kalyan Devji Maharaj, who established the Sukadeva Ashram, born in 1876. Since 1944, he worked with tireless dedication for several decades to bring forth the glories and significance of Shukratal. He lived for 129 years and passed away on 14th July 2004, just under 20 years ago. At Shukratal, there is also the world's tallest murti of Hanumanji at 75 feet high standing outdoors over the main shrine and was built in 1987. Close by is the river Ganga and the beautiful Shukratal got cut. There are a number of temples and ashrams in Shukratal, and the atmosphere is devotional. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur visited Shukratal during his preaching tours, as quoted from the following account from the Ray of Vishnu. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati later delivered some lectures in Delhi in the latter part of the year and glorified the Srimad Bhagavatam in Shukratal, the place where Sukadeva Goswami delivered the Bhagavatam to Maharaj Pariksit 5,000 years earlier. So, Srila Saraswati Thakur also went to Badrinarayan or Badrinath, the site of the first Srimad Bhagavatam recitation, to Shukratal, the site of the second recitation Bhagavatam, to Naimisharanya, the site of the third recitation, and he preached the glories of these places. Srimad Bhagavatam was compiled by Srila Vyasadeva at a cave which is further up on Badrinath. It's called the Vyas Gufa, with assistance from Ganesh Ji, transcribing this impeccable transcendental literature. Shukratal is where Srila Sukadeva Goswami narrated Srimad Bhagavatam to Maharaj Pariksit during the last 7 days of his life in this world. And Naimisharanya in Sitapur district of Uttar Pradesh, which is near Lucknow and Kanpur, is where Sutta Goswami spoke the Bhagavatam to thousands of sages who had gathered there to perform a large ritual for the upliftment of people in Kali Yuga. Shukratal is serene, peaceful, and has a highly potent, spiritually surcharging atmosphere, full with sweetness of bhakti for Shri Krishna. It is an incredible place to visit, given the significance it holds for the sacred text of Srimad Bhagavatam. After Bhagavatam is discussed, Shukadeva Goswami concluded that for a person who is suffering in the fire of countless miseries and who desires to cross the insurmountable ocean of material existence, there is no vehicle more suitable than cultivating a transcendental taste for the narrations of the pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Shri Krishna, Maharaj Pariksit approached Sukadeva Goswami and offered his most respectful obeisances and gratitude, saying, "Now I have achieved the purpose of life. You have personally related to me the narration of the Supreme Lord and have revealed to me what is most auspicious, the knowledge of the Supreme Personal feature of the Lord. I am now full of transcendental knowledge and self-realization. My ignorance has been eradicated. I no longer have any fear of Takshak, the snake, or any other living being, because I have absorbed myself in the purely spiritual absolute truth. Kindly allow me to resign the functions of all my senses onto Lord Adakshaj, Supreme Personality of Godhead. Allow me to absorb my mind, purified of lusty desires, within the Supreme Lord, and to thus give up my life." So this is what happened. Takshak came and he burned Sukadeva Goswami, Pariksit Maharaj. But by that time, Pariksit Maharaj was already in Samadhi. No problem. Granting him this permission, Sukadeva Goswami and the other sages departed. Pariksit Maharaj sat on the banks of the Ganga and settled his mind. He meditated upon the Supreme Absolute Truth with full self-realization, free of material attachments and doubts. His life hair ceased to move. He became stationary as a tree, as per the local legend, when the time for the curse by Shringi to take effect came closer. The snake bird, Takshak, approached Shukratal in the guise of a Brahman. On his way, Takshak met another Brahman called Kashyap. He asked Kashyap where he was going in such a hurry. Kashyap said he was going to meet King Pariksit because he could save him from Takshak's poison. Takshak was surprised at the confidence of Kashyap and revealed that he was Takshak, and there was none in the world who could save anyone who he had bitten. Kashyap smiled and said he had an antidote for the poison. So to test him, Takshak bit a green tree, and within seconds the tree turned to ashes. Kashyap chanted a few mantras and the tree was back to life. Takshak was amazed to see the power of Kashyap. Takshat asked him whether he was going to seek rewards for Parikshit. Kashyap replied in an affirmative. Takshat said he would reward him more lavishly than Parikshit, provided he went back home. Kashyap then took a lot of wealth from Takshat and returned home. That was a shame. The place where Kashyap met Takshat is known as Berahiri. Berahiri. It is 7 kilometers away from Shukratal. The place from where Takshat asked Kashyap to return is called Modna, which is in modern language means return. This village later became known as Morna. It is 5 kilometers from Shukratal on the road coming from, from Muzaffarnagar. When Takshat went to the area where Parikshit was, he found that there was no way by which he could get in. He then disguised himself into a caterpillar and entered one of the fruit baskets, being taken to the king's chamber. On reaching Parikshit Maharaj, Takshat came out of the fruit and took the form of a Brahman and thus easily approached Parikshit. And while he was in meditation, he bit him. Everyone looked on in horror. Parikshit's body immediately turned to ashes by the fire of snake's poison. Thus Maharaj Parikshit left his body immersed in the absolute truth of the Supreme Being, feeling no pain as he entered the spiritual realm. So this is the world's tallest murti, 75 feet of Hanuman, standing outdoors over the main shrine at the temple in Shukratal. And this is the Ghat, beautiful Shukratal Ganga Ghat. So that's Shukratal, very interesting place. I remember going there with Guru Maharaj in Uddhav many, many years ago. Interesting place. It was very small lanes, a lot of Muslim families there. And this is where it is said that Kalki is going to appear. So interesting. So next one.
Next one is visit Konark, which is near Puri, Jagannath Puri.
Sorry.
So this is another view of temple there. Yes, Prabha.
Sorry, another question. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
You said something about the temple and you said so many Muslim there. Which is Konark or is it the Sukdev temple?
In that area, in Shukratal, there's lots of Muslim families who live there in that village.
Are they still there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, at the moment, there's a lot more Muslim families than the Hindu families.
And do they worship Sukdev temple?
No, no.
Okay. So it's just they've settled down there, yeah?
Correct, yes.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mataji.
That's okay. Okay. So this is another view of the Konark temple, which is the Sun Temple. So the Konark Sun Temple, 13th century Sun Temple Konark. It's about 35 kilometers northeast from Puri on the coastline in the Puri district. The temple is attributed to King Nrsimhadev I of the Eastern Ganga dynasty. And this is dedicated to Surya Dev. And what remains of the temple complex has the appearance of a 100-foot high chariot with immense wheels and horses, all carved from stone. Once it was over 200 feet high, but much of the temple is now in ruins, in particular the large Shikhar tower over the century. At one time, this rose much higher than the mandap that remains. The structures and elements that have survived are famed for their intricate artwork, iconography, and themes, including erotic Kama and Mithun scenes, also called the Surya Devalia. It's a classic illustration of the Odisha style of architecture or Kalinga architecture. The cause of the destruction of the Konark temple is unclear and still remains a source of controversy. Theories range from natural damage to deliberate destruction of the temple in the course of being sacked several times by Muslim armies between 15th and 17th centuries. This temple was called the Black Pagoda in European sailor accounts as early as 1676 because it looked like a great tiered tower which appeared black. Similarly, the Jagannath temple in Puri was called the White Pagoda, and both temples served as important landmarks for sailors in the Bay of Bengal. The temple that exists today was partially restored by the conservation efforts of the British India era archaeological teams, and it's declared as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1984, and remains a major pilgrimage site for Hindus who gather here every year for the Chandrabhag Mela around the month of February. The name Konark derives from the combination of Sanskrit words kona, which means corner or angle, and ark is the sun. So the context of the term kona is unclear, but probably refers to the southeast location of this temple, either within a larger temple complex or in relation to other sun temples on the subcontinent or in Bharat. The ark refers to Suryadev. And in Vedas, Surya is represented as rising in the east and traveling rapidly across the sky in a chariot drawn by 7 horses. He is described typically as a resplendent, standing person holding a lotus flower in both his hands, riding the chariot, marshaled by the charioteer Aruna. The 7 horses are named after the 7 meters of Sanskrit prosody. His Gayatri, Brihatli, Ushni, Jagati, Tushupva, Anustuva, and Pankti. Typically seen flanking Surya are 2 females who represent the dawn goddesses Usha and Prayusha. The goddesses are shown to be shooting arrows, a symbol of the initiative in challenging the darkness. The architecture is also symbolic with the chariot's 12 pairs of wheels corresponding to the 12 months of the Hindu calendar, each month paired into 2 cycles, Shukla and Krishna Paksha. The Konark temple presents this iconography on a grand scale. It is 24 elaborately carved stone wheels, which are nearly 12 feet in diameter and are pulled by a set of 7 horses. When viewed from inland during the dawn and sunrise, the chariot-shaped temple appears to emerge from the depths of a blue sea carrying the sun. The temple was made of 3 types of stone. Chlorite was used for the door, lintel, and frames, as well as some sculptures. Laterite was used for the core of the platform and staircases near the foundation, and condylite was used for the other parts of the temple. According to Mitra, the condylite stone weathers faster over time. This may have contributed to erosion and accelerated damage when parts of the temples were destroyed. None of these stones occur naturally nearby, and the architects and artisans must have procured and moved the stones from distant sources, probably using the rivers and water channels in the site. The masons then created ashlar, where the stones were polished and finished so as to make joints hardly visible. The original temple had a main sanctum sanctorum, Viman, which is estimated to have the main Vimal fell in 1837. The main Mandap audience hall, the Jagmohan, which is about 188 feet tall, still stands and is the principal structure in the surviving ruins. Among the structures that have survived to the current are the dance hall, the Natsha Nandir, and the dining hall, the Bhog Mandir, Mandap. So it is orientated towards the east, so it's made like that, so that the first rays of the sunrise strike the main entrance. Actually, when the sun rises, you can see the sun coming straight through the temple from one entrance to the other. The temple built by condylite rocks was usually constructed at the mouth of the river Chandrabhaga, but the water has receded since then. The wheels of the temple are sundials, which can be used to calculate time accurately to the minute. Konark Sun Temple complex has ruins of many subsidiary shrines and monuments around the main temple. Some of these include the Maya Devi Temple. This is located to the west and dates back to the 11th century, earlier than the main temple. It consists of a sanctuary, a mandap, and before it, an open platform. It was discovered during excavations carried out between 1900 and 1910. Earlier theories assumed that it was dedicated to Surya's wife and thus named Maya Devi Temple. However, later studies suggest that it was also Surya Temple, albeit an older one that was fused into the complex when the monumental temple was built. This temple also has numerous carvings, and a square mandap is overlain by a saptarath. Sanctum of the Surya temple features a Nataraj. Other deities in the interior include damaged Surya holding a lotus, along with Agni, Varun, Vishnu, and Vayu. There's a Vaishnav temple. It's located to the southwest of the Maya Devi temple, and it was discovered in excavation in 1956. This discovery is significant because it confirmed that the Konark Sun Temple complex revered all the major Hindu traditions, was not an exclusive worship place for the Surya cult as previously believed. So this is a small temple with sculptures of Balram, Varaha, and Vaman, Trivikarma, in its sanctum, making it a Vaishnavite temple. These statues are shown as wearing dhoti and a lot of jewelry. The sanctum's primary deity is missing, as are images from the stone some niches in the temple. The site's significance as a place of Vaishnavism pilgrimage attested to in Vaishnav texts. For example, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited the Konark temple and prayed on its premises. And then there's the kitchen. This monument is found south of the Bhog Mandap feeding hall. It too was discovered in excavation in the 1950s. It includes means to bring water, systems to store water, drains, a cooking floor, depressions in the floor, probably for pounding spices or grains, as well as several triple ovens, chulas for cooking. This structure may have been for festive occasions or part of the community feeding hall. According to Thomas Donaldson, the kitchen complex may have been added a little later than the original temple.
Just have a look what it's done here. Keep it up. 100 up total. Okay, so well, one, this monument is located north of the kitchen towards its eastern flank, was probably built to supply water to the community kitchen and Bhog Mandap. This is a huge temple and really well organized. It's a real shame now it's in disuse, but you can still see the glory when you go. Near the well are a pillared mandap and 5 structures, some with semi-circular steps whose role is unclear. Well 2. This monument and associated structures are in the front of the northern staircase of the main temple with footrests, a washing platform, and a water drain system. It was probably designed for the use of pilgrims arriving at the temple. The fallen upper portion of the temple is believed to have been studded with many inscriptions. In the last quarter of the 18th century, the Aruna Stamba, Aruna pillar, which is huge, was removed from the entrance, or which was huge, was removed from the entrance of Konark temple and placed at the Singha Dwara, Lion's Gate, of the Jagannath temple in Puri by Maratha Brahmachari, a Maratha Brahmachari called Goswami. The pillar made of monolithic chlorite is 33 feet, 8 inches tall and is dedicated to Arun, the chariot of the sun. That's still there in front of Jagannath temple, massive structure. So that's the Konark temple. And it is a huge, huge complex worshipping the sun, Suryadev. very beautiful. And it was scientifically designed. But unfortunately, its glory is now in the past, although it does still look quite magnificent. So, any questions, any comments? This is in Orissa, very near Jagannath Puri. So, worth visiting when we are in that side of the world.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Oh, Mataji, you want to talk?
No, go on, Mataji.
Okay. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
This, you mentioned about this sun temple, which is, you can see the darshan from one one door to another door. And this temple darshan sometimes send in WhatsApp, and they say that you can do this darshan. I haven't got any picture now, but sometimes they send it.
I think that's right.
Is this the same temple?
I'm not sure. But I'm sure they do send pictures through WhatsApp of all of these temples. But I'm sure it will be one of them. But I haven't come across it.
You
Yeah,
haven't. Okay.
Yeah.
No, because the way you was describing, I was thinking about the temple. I haven't got any picture now, but sometimes they said only you can see the sun coming out from one door and you can still do the darshan, which is very good.
Right. It might be. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Karuna,
Hare
anything?
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Karuna, you wanted to share something?
Yeah, I just want to say that it's really amazing how the architecture, how it's just thinking about how these people in those ancient days, they have done these architecture, the big wheels and everything surrounding the temple. So that's amazing, really incredible. We can't understand how these people have been doing all these.
No, that's true. And very scientifically based. It's a little bit like the Jantar Mantar, it's so scientifically based.
Yeah.
And I think even now people would struggle to work those calculations out, but they did it in those days.
Yeah. Just like I'm just remembering one thing, like Kedarnath Mandir. After the flood that happened in 2013, was it? And then the architects and engineer they try to study how was it built, that everything was washed away around, but the temple is still standing there. So really amazing what the people at that time they have done. It's incredible.
Yeah. True. Yeah. It's unimaginable, the effort they put in. It's just incredible.
Yeah.
Very good. Have you been there? Have you been to the Konark temple?
Konark temple, yes, I've been there.
Good. Yeah, fascinating place.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so yes,
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Something else also. You talked about the Sukadev
Shukratal.
doing the katha.
Yeah.
For Parasitraja Maharaja, and the banyan tree. We can literally see that the branches were going so far.
That's right.
And it's unusual that it's still there, and we can literally do the darshan.
Yeah, it's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
It's really amazing. I don't know, but seeing on the like on the Zoom and you making us do the darshan, it's really good. And it's nearly 5,000 years ago.
Yeah, 5,100 years. Yeah, it's amazing.
1 year ago. And it's still there.
Still there, still going.
Good, it's good.
Extraordinary.
Today I want to mention you something else. Today I went to temple in the morning. I go every Monday and I do the darshan. And we had what do you call pipro in English?
What was it called? Limbro? No.
No. Pipra Munjar.
Oh, I don't know. No.
You must know.
No.
Where we do more puja. And even in
I know the tree.
summer,
English, we don't know. English, we don't know. But yeah, I know
English, no. Gujarati, you know what Pipra is.
Yeah.
And it had grown about 2-3 feet high, but every year it goes down and comes out again. But last week it was really nice, and this morning I went to do, and I did the darshan of it, and I said, oh my God, what happened to this? And the Maharaj said that, oh, we put the new compass in it, and it just burned down all the leaves.
Yeah, and maybe they put cow dung. Cow dung is very, very strong, and that can destroy the plant. Yeah, it can destroy the plant.
It has destroyed completely.
Oh,
all the leaves burn out.
Oh my goodness, that's not good.
Yeah,
That's not good.
yeah. But anyway, I just did the darshan. But Maharaj was telling it might come back again.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Hopefully. Yeah,
hopefully, yeah. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing that. So, let's go. Sorry. Shukratal ki jai, Konark ki jai.